In this video, I'm going to show you how I use a product called NO-COAT to do all these odd angles in this upstairs, and it made it very easy. And if you're new to this channel, my name's Josh. This channel is all about DIY to save a ton of money. So be sure to subscribe, ring that bell so you get notifications every time I release a new video, and hammer that like button for me. That's all I ask in return for making this video. So we got a lot to do today, so let's get started. I'm now going to show you how to finish a corner that has an off angle like this. You could use standard tape, but it's definitely not superior and it's really hard to make the corner look good. That's when I would recommend using NO-COAT. And now the 450 is actually 4.5 inches wide. So whenever you fold it in the corner, you're going to have a total of 4.5 inches of coverage. So it's going to give it a nice look by the time you put your last coat over it. And it's going to be something that you're going to want to use for any off-angled or any kind of large gaps that need filled. Anything like that, this NO-COAT's great for it. And it's actually just a laminated drywall corner, but it's easy to install. We're going to use the green lid drywall mud with a 6-inch knife. This is the joint in which we're going to install the flex corner or the NO-COAT on. As you can see, there are some gaps, and this is 63 foot long. So this is a really long corner, but we're going to attempt it using the NO-COAT. In order to open this up, we're just going to open it like so, but I'm not going to take the whole roll out. There is a place here on the side that's already pre-cut that's going to be used to feed the NO-COAT out. All right, as you can see, we got it started. Now we're going to pull it across the room to cut it to length. All right, I'm going to mark this just about 1/4 inch less than what I need. I don't want it to hit the wall when I get to there. And then in order to cut this, we're just going to use 10 snips to cut right off. I'm now going to fold this to roughly the angle in which we need, and it'll flex once we get it into place. But I wanted to show you that, and you'll notice there's writing here that says this side to drywall, so that's going to go against drywall. Then this is the face of it that's going to be exposed. So we're just going to give it a nice little bend. So we're going to pre-bend the whole piece before we get started. Because I have my helper with me in the background, as you can see there, he's going to start one side and I'm going to start the other, and we're going to coat this corner to install the NO-COAT. And with that being said, we're going to take a 6-inch knife, and I usually run it about 4 inches from the edge, even up to 6. Just make sure there's enough mud under it. So just like when we installed the tape, I'm just going to take a clump of mud here on the end and just start placing the mud underneath where the NO-COAT's going, like so. And this doesn't have to be anything fancy, just as long as we get good coverage to give that NO-COAT a place to stick to. And it's, again, just like taping, same idea. I have him holding the end to help support it, and I'm going to go ahead and take this, and we're going to tuck it right in an eyeball about where that corner is, and just start pushing this into place like so, and just kind of smoothing it out and pushing it right into that corner. Just like that. And we're going to run this down the whole length first. Good. Now as you can see, I'm going to hold it as he goes down, and now he's going to lift it up and get it started. And that way, we're going to keep working it in as we go. And in order to keep this all in one piece, this is what you got to do. So having a helper is essential here. Now that it's stuck on the corner, now I'm going to take my 6-inch knife, and I would start at one end or the other, but the camera had to get in here so I could see this better. So we're just simply going to smooth that mud out on both sides, and that's what's going to seal it to the ceiling or wall.
When you
you are applying the mud on the joint for the no-coat, remember it does not have to look pretty. It really just has to be a good base to secure the no-coat to the drywall. And with that being said, you do want to make sure you get the no-coat on and smooth out before it starts drying. As you can see here, I used a screw to hold it into place and then smoothed it out about 12 feet at a time. And that was a good system and worked well for me. And I also butt 2 scrap pieces to make this full length here. So that's something you may or may not want to do. It's best to have one continuous run, but because I wanted to save a little money, I just butted it together and finished right over the joint. Be sure to allow the drywall mud to totally dry before moving on to the next coat, and remember that throughout the rest of this video. I'm going to show you how to finish up this no-coat or the flex corner. And the reason why it's called no-coat is it literally just takes one skim coat across the whole edge of each side of the no-coat. And actually we're going to stop our coat right here about a ½ inch or so from the very center of the no-coat. And I got an 8-inch knife for this, and it's the same mud that I used to do the third coat on the walls. So it's the red lid or mid-weight mud that's watered down a little bit so it goes on smooth. So just like the skim coat, we're first going to go across, knock off anything loose. And we would typically start at the end of the run and work over, but for the camera to see, so you can see what I'm doing, I'm going to start right here and just show you how I'm going to skim right across to blend in the edge of the no-coat. I'm literally just going to take mud that's tapered on the knife, and we're simply going to run it real smooth to blend in that edge like so. It's really about the same technique that we've been doing to try to skim. When you're skimming this, you'll notice there is a little hump right here in the no-coat, and that's what we're finishing right up to. And really that's all there is to skimming the edge of the no-coat, and like I said, you do that to both sides of it, and then you're good to go. Of course, after the skim coat dries, you will be ready to sand it. Here are some clips where I was sanding the ceiling down below, but you would more or less just use a pole sander to hit the flats of the no-coat, and then after you hit the flats, you would switch to a sanding sponge or block, and then fine-tune the final sanding. If you would like to see how I'm going to mud and tape all of this drywall, check out this video. It'll help you out.